In the first section of emulating the pedal steel guitar, we're going to be talking about playing in the style of Ralph Mooney. If you're following along on the PDF, we're going to start on Idea 1, Ralph Mooney 3-note bends. If you're familiar with your cowboy chord shapes, we're going to take this G chord and move it all the way up to the 8th fret where it's in the key of C. Here's a C chord with the G chord shape. We're going to be mainly working out of the top part of this, which would be the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string to make a C major chord. If you're following along in PDF, we've got 5, 5, 8, and then if we add it, we can do 7, 8, 8. And what we have here is a D, a G, and a C. So in the key of C, this D is the 9, the G is the 5, and the C is the 1. We're going to take these 3 notes and bend it, the D up to an E, a whole step, which will make it a perfect C major triad. Just like that. If we go to the next one, the C7, we're still working out of this C chord here, but this time we're going to drop the C on the E string to the B flat. That would be the 7th. We have C, E, and B flat now, the 1, 3, and the flat 7. If we rearrange our fingers, I like using my 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. We have the C7 chord, and now we're going to raise the 1 to the 9. The next chord we have, still working out of this, is a C9. If we take 5, 5, and 6 like the previous example, but then move our E note up to the G, and then our C note up to the D, we have this C7 with a 9 in it. You could also think of it as a G minor chord, or part of a G minor chord. So we're going to take this and we're going to bend this 9 up to the 3. So we'll take here, I put 2 fingers right here, and I just push up. Release right back down. Our last kind of 3-note voicing he uses to bend quite a bit is this C7 up here. If we're thinking of playing out of this C chord at the 10th, 9th, 8th, and 8th fret, at C, E, G, C, we're going to play C, B flat, and F. And then we're going to push up the F to a G to make it a C7 chord like so. So this is going to sound, and then right back down. Back to your C. I would practice those individually and just work on slowly bending up and slowly coming down to get your fingers to remember them. Once you do that, move on to the next idea, Idea 2, Ralph Mooney pentatonic lead-ins. So alone these bends are nice, but what we need is some notes to get us into them. And if you listen to those old Merle Haggard Stranger records, you hear this quite a bit. He takes just normal pentatonic scales, and we're going to start out of this shape again on the G here, and we're just going to play up G, A, C, D, we're going to use these notes to kind of create lead-ins. If you're following along in 6, we've got the first little lead-in. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You've probably heard that a lot in country records. We're just going G, G, C, G, D, C. So really bouncing around our root. So G, G. And after that, that's when you would connect maybe a bend to it. So with these 3 notes and then our pentatonics, we're ready for some examples. In example 1, we have the Stranger styled solo break. This is straight off of some of the tunes that Ralph Mooney played on the I'm a Lonesome Fugitive record. It's going to sound like this. I'm going to give us 4 counts and then the pickups into it. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Alright, so to break that down, we've got our lead in, or our pickup. We're going to go 1, G, G, C, G, D, and then a little dead note. You can do it on the 3rd string or the 4th string. And then we're straight into our first bend, the C7 bend, where we're lifting the 3rd string D note up a whole step to get us a C7, letting go for 2 beats each. And then we've got our next chord, our C7 with the 9 in it. And what that is just moving up the C to the D, like in our first examples of overviewing it. We've got, and that's a common kind of phrasing he would do. He would bend 3 up and then on the last one, grab the top. And what I'm doing here is using my pick and then my 2 fingers in my middle and my ring. I'm going 1, 2, 3. And now the chord changes to an F, and I'm sliding all the way up to the 13th fret, and I'm thinking, here's my F chord, and I'm going to play a major bend, where I play, and then bring it right back down to come back to the C chord. And we have a G and C there as 2 notes in the C chord. So we have this F major here. And if you want, so you don't have that F ringing into the C chord, you can just kind of lift your finger off a bit and you can get that to choke. So you might go. So all together, one more time, walk you through this first example. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Alright, in example 2, I've called this one chord breaking and raking. This is something that he would do quite a bit. To start it off, we have a normal pickup, and then over the first C chord, we're going to play what I call the chord breaking, and then over the F chord, we're going to do the raking. So let me play this for you and show you how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Alright, so to break that down, we have a slightly different lead in. We're just going G, G, C, D. And then we're bending straight up. We can either grab the whole chord at first, or we can just bend the D up to the E, and then grab the top 2 strings with our 2nd and 3rd finger. So we've got 1, and I'm just going through it twice, 1, 2, and 3, and picking it and letting it fall, or grab the whole chord at first. And then for the C7, I'm switching my fingers around and I'm going same exact rhythm. Now we're just bending this D up to the E. I'm sorry, we did that as before. We're really just dropping the C down to the B flat. So we've got, and remember, it's really nice to have these 2 fingers bend this 3rd string. I think it's the easiest way of getting it up and in tune. So we've got C major, or with the full chord to start, and then we're sliding all the way up to our F box here. Here's our F chord at the 13th fret, and we're doing this thing where we rake. So I take my pick and I just bring it across these three strings, the E, B, and G string, and I just go, and I try to really dig in and get a snap. So that's that F7. Then we shift it down to this F7, where we're bending the G, the 9, up to the A. And then we shift it down to this F7 with the added 9, where we bend the F up to the G. So what's cool about this one is we're bending B flat to C, G to A, F to G. So it's a nice little line down. So over the F we've got So one more time with our chord breaking and then the raking. And once again, the chord breaking is over the C's, and then the raking is over the F. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now we're going to come to idea 3, Ralph Mooney triple stops. This is something that I lifted more from Buck Owens records than I did Merle Haggard records. If we take our C chord here at the 8th fret, some people think of it as just like an F chord in root position moved all the way up, or like an E chord moved all the way up. But I just see it as the C chord. We have C, E, G, C. We're going to omit the bass note and just play the top 3 notes. And we're going to add an F chord in front or behind each one. So if we have C here, our closest F chord is right here, where we have F, A, C, or 10, 10, 8. So that's going to give us that suspended sound, or the sus4 sound, where we have. So that's the first one, if you're following on the PDF. The second one's an octave down. We're just going to come down here, playing out of this shape, the G shape, and we're going to play C, then drop our F down where we have 7, 5, 6, or A, C, F for the F chord. So we've got C, F, C, C, F, C. Now let's do it with the G. We've got 9, 7, and 8 for our G triad right here. You can imagine it's a C chord almost. If we took this and moved it up. So we've got this, and then we're going to add a 6 to it. Another common thing he would do. So we have G, then G6. Once again, follow along in the PDF. We've got a C, and then, I'm sorry, a C9, and then a C. Some more common chords here. G, C, D, G, C, E. And then in the last bar, 19, we've got a C, a D minor triad, an E minor triad, and an F. So if you want to think of it this way, C, D minor, E minor, F. And these are all super important triads that he uses all the time. That's why I have them all listed out here. So once more through the entire idea 3, the Ralph Mooney triple stops, we've got C, F, C, F, G, G6, C9, C, C, D minor, E minor, F. Now at this point you might be a little confused as to why I arranged them like that, and you're about to see he would use all of those triple stops very closely one after another to each other. So let's take a look at example 3. I call this one the sus4 break. It's going to go like this. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is straight from some Buck Owens styled tunes. We've got our C right here, and we're just adding the sus, or the 4, and we've got. And what I'm doing here, I'm using my second and third finger to grab the first two strings, and the pick, and then I'm just hammering on with my third and fourth finger to get that F, and then grabbing all three at the last C in bar 20. So we've got. Then we come down to the G. And so this is the perfect example where you have a G, then a G6, back to the G. So same type of way of picking second and third fingers on the second and third strings, using the pick on the fourth. And now I'm coming down to this C right here, and I'm playing same way as before, the C to the F. And then grabbing those again. There's all sorts of variations you can do on this. We've got. If you want to grab the double again, that's written in the PDF. So altogether, you can think of all of these chords as just right above each chord. So C above is F, G above is G6, C above is F, and back to C. So one more time, example 3, the sus4 break. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now our last one, example 4, I call ending lick, because this is one he would do on a lot of endings to solos as well as just songs or filling phrases in general. This one's cool. It uses a different type of suspended chord, and let's get right into it. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so to kick this one off, I do this cool little different thing here where we add the 9 and it starts off suspended like that. So if you're thinking this is our C chord, an A shape, but just moved up to C, we've got G, C, and then our D as the suspension, the 9. And we're going to grab 3rd string, 4th string, 3rd string. And then I'm barring with my first finger across the 3rd frets of the 2nd and 1st string. I'm going. So all picked, and then ring, middle, pick. Going 1st, 2nd, 3rd string. And then I'm adding my 2nd and 1st string back in again. Then dropping my pinky, or sometimes if it's fast, I'll do this. And just move both fingers over so I have that full C chord. And that's just resolving that suspended D back to the E. So we've got. And now here comes our walk down from the F. You've got F triad, you can think of the big F chord here. E minor triad, there's your E minor chord there. D minor triad, you can think of your D minor triad there, or chord there. And then C. Pay attention on those old Buck Owens tunes, as well as just a lot of country songs in general. That's a very common kind of cadence at the ends of phrases. Then we've got this nice little bend to end it. Nice C major bend. So all together one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.